In today's video, we're starting a brand new series. We're going to make the F124 My Team Career Mode as difficult as possible for us. We're going to have the slowest car on the grid against the hardest AI. No flashbacks, no restarts, a 10 race calendar, and most importantly of all, no car upgrades. So as the AI gets stronger during the season, we stay exactly the same. Can we win the championship or will we get defeated? We have 10 races to make the difference, starting today on Australia. Before we get into qualifying, I just want to show you the performance index chart here with us, Leigh Racing at the very bottom and Red Bull at the very top, showing the discrepancy in the pace and performance of the cars from top to bottom. We're going to see how far we can get in this championship while having the worst car. And we must say, this livery is banging. Like, look at this livery for a non-modded livery in the F1 game. Now that is what you call stylish. Anyway, here we go. First lap with this car. Literally done no practice, straight in. See how we get on with the slowest car on F124 against the fastest AI. See if we go and win the championship against it. There we go, running up to the line. So Oscar's in the 15s. We're not going to be anywhere near the 15s today. We're going to be a 16.5, but the lap was pretty shoddy, to be honest. Alright, coming up with a second run out of the final corner. Open up DRS. We lost a lot of pace in Sector 1 on the previous lap. So let's see what we can get out of it this time. Going into the sector. Much better, much more cleaner this time. Currently sat P11. Let's see what we can get out of it. Down to third gear this time. Fourth. Ah, that's better. That's better than I took it in esports, to be honest. Sector 1 finishing up now. Already a 10.5 improvement. Much nicer through there, but it's going to be pretty difficult to find a second on my previous lap time, I think. Either way, we'll see what we can get out of it and see try to be into the top 10. Then naturally being the worst car, it's one of the slowest in a straight line. So it's going to be quite difficult to maximise around the Albert Park circuit. That was much nicer. Lovely jubbly. Oh, that's almost off the track. Fighting the rear a little bit, running up to the line. This should be into the 15s, I reckon. If we get it right. 15.8. P6 on the grid. Got to find a few more attempts in the final run to be on the pole position. AI are probably going to improve as well, but we also have the chance to, so let's see what we can do. One run to go. You should see the delta on the top right hand side of the screen to know if we're up or down on our lap time potential. Bit of wiggly on the exit of turn 1, but found just under a tenth already. It's going to go over a tenth if we go down the straight. If we go deep there, it's going to cost us a lot of time. It's quite hard to get on the power with this car. The rear is not really that settled, to be honest. And we're just going to be losing a bit of time on the straight. Through the right-hander. Back on the power. That was a bit nicer for there. Gaining more speed and momentum on the exit of the corner. Down to 8th. Down to 9th. Where can we go right now? We're 1.3 tenths up. We do need this improvement. So we can be starting higher up on the grid. Obvious statement, I know. Going through the chicane. Back on the battery. Getting a bit of momentum on the exit. Draining the battery a lot. Bit conservative there on the power, wasn't really ideal. Bit of a shoddy final sector though. We're only going to be improving by just under half a tenth, where's that going to put us P8 in the end. P8 in the end. So to be honest, wasn't the most brilliant final lap. Normally I would start on the hard tyre for this kind of race. But I think starting on the medium has a better chance to stay with the pack, stay with the train. Right, let's get into this. So no formation lap. Gonna guess with 2 laps of fuel. Like I say, this is the setup using. So if you do want to try at home, feel free. Why not? It is a bit suited and tailored to the F1 My Team car to help stabilize it a little bit. Of course, the car is quite unbalanced. On the grid here, we've got the 2 Mercedes directly behind us. See where we can get to. A pretty average start, to be honest. Not really ideal. But we are going to try and go round the outside of the cars. See if we can make it up. Get a bit of momentum. Up into P7 already. So we did get past Alonso. We do need to get up the inside of Charles here. Or get the position on Charles. It's the best opportunity to do so. Deep on the brakes. Around the outside. Up the inside of Carlos as well. If we can be sneaky. Lovely jubbly. Short shift to 4. Get back the traction. So there we go. Up to P5 already. We're going to see the first test of how our straight line speed is in this race. And see where we can get to. So we don't want to use too much battery too early, but seemingly we do have a deficit on the straight line speed, as already Sainz is making up the ground to us compared to Norris. And now for the left, through the right for the first time. Bit of understeer. Go use a bit of hot lap so we don't have to burn the overtake. Seemingly, we are able to keep pretty convincingly with them so far. Like I say, I would say I made a mistake in the qualifying. So I think we were slightly out of position. Realistically, with a better lap, we could have been P6, P5. So we can end up seeing where we can be. Verstappen, of course, does the fastest lap of the race. Oh! Almost got caught off guard there by Sainz, looking up the inside. Didn't realise the AI would do that, to be honest. But we are starting to lose ground to Norris up ahead. So either we need to make a decision to burn a lot of our battery, try and hold track position, or drop behind Sainz. We're going to try and keep the track position for now, and see what we can do. Have to push quite hard through the high-speed sequence there. And see if we can hang on to P5 in this race. Go for the right-hander, back on the power. We're only a few tenths off. Fastest lap of the race. 70% battery. Wasn't caught off guard by Sainz this time. What helps us a lot. Going to move the brake bars 1% rearward. Bit of a silly invalidation there. End up just running wide for not much reason. Open up DRS. Norris up ahead is flashing. Sainz behind is quite close. They're side by side. This might open up an opportunity for us on the exit of the corner. Try not to pick up another invalidation. Probably not going to be close enough to be worth burning our battery. They are 3 wide up ahead. Okay, we need to go for the switchback here. Avoid damage on the front wing. That's a priority. Wasn't able to quite get the switchback. Was stuck underneath the rear wing of Norris. Actually got the collision warning. So that was quite close to breaking our front wing. Right, 90% battery on the exit. Sainz is pushing us down the straight one more time. We're actually going to go attacking, so we do need to go a bit defensive. We're a bit aggressive with a late weave on my behalf there, so probably should calm it down a bit in the future. Now, in the first sequence, a lot closer than we've ever been, trying to avoid picking up a silly warning like we did last lap. Same amount of battery, roughly, as last time round, about 10 laps out from our pit stop window. Down to pit here a bit earlier, a bit more conservative as well. Always much nicer there. Building up speed. Yeah, it's going to be quite difficult to actually overtake the AI in this sequence because we're dropping too far back in the first sector. Really, our best chance is hoping that they battle into this sequence of corners here and we can get a good run, a good momentum on the exit. Going up on the brake bars by 1%. Going to look for a switchback here. Just avoid picking up damage. Leaving up the inside of Norris. Not quite far enough. So I think the thing that really makes this challenge quite unique as well, because like I say, their car is going to improve during the season. My car is actually going to stay stagnant. I cannot do a single upgrade to my car. Oh, we're going to be slow on the apex. Had to be sure to avoid contact there. I can't do a single upgrade on my car during the whole year. Well, full season, I should say, over 10 races. So, we're going to have to adapt as the season goes on and really try to maximize the car, because there's no other way to get faster. And of course, if the AI have the opportunity to add upgrades like they will, it's going to decrease our opportunity to get race wins. So we really need to be efficient in the start of the season to pick up the wins, pick up the points. And one bad race from us will be really hard to recover in the championship for two reasons. One, it's only 10 races. But secondly, our pace will deteriorate more than likely towards the end of the season. A bit nicer for the final corner. On the limit there, Sainz is again pushing us down the straight. Yes, it is a custom calendar. Alright. Having to go a bit defensive. Again, just squeezing Carlos to the inside. I think that was just about fair. Sainz again is getting a run on us. Right, going to go a bit defensive. It's going to be just about clawing alongside, but we can outbrake him around the outside line to maintain the position. And I think we will have to follow someone in the pit box to ensure that we have the DRS detection. So I think doing an overcut strategy with the car performance that we have and the pace we have on this track for this car will leave us too vulnerable. I'm not going to turn on the battery between these corners. I'm going to save it a bit more this time. Sainz is a bit further behind, but again, he's so fast on the pit straight that we don't have an option but to use battery. Up ahead, AI are fighting a bit. You see the rear tyres are starting to struggle. Sainz pretty close. Okay, now we can turn off the battery, start saving it. Oh, bit of a mistake there on my behalf. Again, happen to burn battery, not in an attacking way, just purely in a defense. Sainz goes side by side with us into this corner. It could mean that we lose the DRS detection to the cars ahead from the time lost. So really, we're not in the most strong position, that's for sure. Running a bit deep again, losing a bit of braking efficiency. You can see struggling with traction on the exit as well. Sainz is in the box. That's a bit strange. He is the literal only person to be boxing in this race. So possibly Carlos Sainz is on a two-stop strategy. But it doesn't matter to us right now, because we are almost out of DRS detection of Lando Norris. Have the ability to accelerate off the corner in a good way. You can see the rear of the car, it's all over the place right now. We're going to have to drain battery fully, even have a chance of being in DRS detection. And we're going to have to nail the next time. We're going to take a click of wing off in the pit stop. We have to nail the chicane. Drain a lot of battery, just try to close up. That's going to save us. The AI battling up ahead. That's going to bring us an opportunity. Oh, my teammate's actually fighting with Carlos Sainz. What a legend. Right, 7/10 behind. Better than last lap. Still losing a lot of traction though. You can see the traction is just not it. Even sat in none. There's just no traction with the car. 1.2 seconds, yeah. DRS is dumb. I think we box this lap. And try and undercut ourselves back into that DRS window. I think it's the realistically only chance we have. Hopefully that adjustment to the front wing we did. It should be enough, or hopefully will be enough, to bring better rear tyre deck. No AI boxes. That's good.
Okay, some information on Piastri. Okay, they're slowing down. It seems like there's some kind of problem with their car.
Piastri might be out of the race. Either way, we need to get into a pit stop. Purple. Going with a hard compound tyre. Bit of a slower exit, not ideal. That's Carlos Sainz up ahead. So Sainz is on the medium, confirmed that he's 2-stopping them. It's actually nice having traction. Oh my god, too much traction. Almost understeered off the road. But we really need to make the most of this lap. Because we don't know what's happening with Piastri. But it might be our only way to get back into a podium paying position, or even have a chance at a podium paying position, if they end up holding each other up behind Piastri's car. And if we can just get in that DRS detection, he may change our race with the race leaders again. Right, some of the leaders here in the box, P2. That was a big jump over that curve. We need to clear this traffic and hope that people box. Up behind Logan Sargent. He's box. Okay, he's not going to box, his teammate did. Again, because we're down on straight line speed, it might not be the easiest to get past him in turn 1. This is what you can do. There's a yellow flag in sector 1. That's Norris, that's Verstappen. Around the outside of 2 cars there, just about. Daniel Ricciardo's out the race. Doesn't look like there'll be a safety car though. That's Ricciardo to the right hand side, out of his home race. So that undercut has done wonders for us. That's put us in provisionally P3 or P2. Right, out behind Wang Yu Zhou. Carlos Sainz, who... Sainz is on the hards, but I said it was on the mediums earlier, it was my mistake. He is on the hard compound tyres. We go around the outside of 2 cars here. Oh, yes, we can. Lovely jubbly. What a lap and a half that's been for us. See if we can start building up the battery again. If people are wondering why I'm downshifting and upshifting again before the braking, it's quite simply just to do with a technique to be recharging the battery with F124. There's a bit of a glitch that allows you to have extra recharge. Actually, I don't know if I'd call it a glitch, but for lack of a better term, it's a glitch. Allows you to have better recharge when you do that. It restarts the recharging phase as we go into the race lead. That is Sergio Perez, and we are into the race lead. I was going to say back into the race lead, but we were never there to start with. So lap 15, we have a really good undercut strategy. Starting down in P8, got to P5 on lap 1, and now we are leading the race here on lap 15. Of course, going to have to be quite careful, because our tyres are already on 6%, and we do need to go quite a long way. Additionally, the fuel may be a problem if we spend the whole time in clean air. But we'll see what we can do on pace. We'll see where we can get to. The car balance is feeling a lot better on this hard compound tyre though. Able just to predict where the car's going to go. The medium was very peaky. Not very predictable. Additionally, the downforce change we did may have had a positive effect as well. Undercut was big time the way to go. Into turn 1. It's good. We actually extended the gap to Perez through turn 1 then. That means Verstappen is likely to catch us, let's be honest. Verstappen has caught us. Verstappen is now going to be in our DRS zone. Is full behind Verstappen. Not that we'll have much choice, to be honest. When the time is right, full behind Verstappen and start saving some fuel, save the tyres, save the battery, and line up for overtake later in the race to try and take the first win of the season. Very close to a very silly track limits there. 4 tenths behind. Okay, we're going to turn off battery so we don't have to be fighting him going into turn 1. He actually does fastest lap of the race. What isn't ideal, so I think that's going to take a point away from us. But maybe we can get that back later in the race as well. Because every point, more than likely, will make a difference. Carlos Sainz is back in the pit lane, so our theory of him 2-stopping is correct. Lance Stroll's out of the race. Again, doesn't seem like it'll be a safety car. And Max Verstappen is pushing. He's almost, well, he is out of our DRS. We'll catch him back up on the straight purely because of our DRS advantage. But if we're not careful in this next lap, Verstappen could drop us away from his DRS detection zone. The gap is 7/10. I don't know why, but my... doesn't feel like the overtake is deploying normally. Like, yeah, I'm using overtake button, but it's staying at 100%. I think my battery is broken. Yeah, I think the battery is broken. What has happened? Like, I'm using overtake button, but nothing's happening. What? Okay, now it's working again? But it's not draining normally. Like, overtake is draining just like medium. Man, it has to be a bug. What did George Russell electronic issue? Right, we got not that many laps in this race to hang on though. Well, that seems to be deploying a bit more normally. We are down to 70% battery now, and our straight line speed seems to be comparable with Pellet's. So I guess it was a temporary issue with the car, but that did cost us a lot of fuel consumption. So be sure that we can finish the race as we actually hit the back of Pellet's there. I actually have no idea what's going on with this battery though. Because like one time it's deploying normally, and then another time it's not. There's no straight line speed acceleration out of the car. When we do our wears component, there's nothing like broken here. Okay, let's see, half a second behind Pellet, so provided we don't make a mistake, we should be able to hang on them. Either way though, Charles is just on the fringe of our DRS. And that's actually going to be quite bad, having to fight off his car, because I don't even know if I have acceleration in my car anymore. And all we can do is really just drive quickly in the corners. That seems to be all that we can control. After this race though, we're definitely changing the whole battery pack. Look at that, we can't accelerate. Wait, is it my throttle? No way if it's my throttle. It's my throttle. That is not ideal. That is not good. The pedal might be cooked, chat. My throttle calibration is a bit broken. So, we'll see if we can finish the race on this. It's not going to be that easy because there's like a huge dead zone. That explains why we couldn't accelerate. Also explains why the battery wasn't draining. Well, now we're actually accelerating properly. That's a bit unfortunate. Well, we can recover though. With the pedal now actually working, we might be able to find ourselves getting back in a podium contention. Need to sort of regather a bit here. Get used to the new dead zone on the throttle. Of course, we've tried to fix it after this race. Losing the rear end, but yeah, I mean that's a bit of a shame, to be honest. So I think without that problem, we would have been in a really, really strong contention for the race win. IRL mechanical fault, big time. Only got a few laps left of this race. Ironically, that problem with the throttle did actually help our fuel consumption though. Right, actually starting to get a bit too low on the battery right now. So either we're going to have to try and make a move on one of these cars or start sailing it back up. And now side by side up ahead. I think they will stay side by side for the corner. And they are going to get a poor exit. Right, back on the overtake button. See what we can do. See if we can make a position to at least one of these cars up ahead. Can we look down the inside? Yes, we can with the Red Bull side by side into the corner. A big stack of wheel spin on the exit. Again, just really struggling with his pedal right now. Hard to know exactly where the where it's going to actually start applying force. But either way, we try just to get this car to the finish line. Maybe get lucky with the cars battling up ahead. They are going to go side by side, what is going to give us maybe a sneak of an opportunity. Not a massive one, because they're still 8 tenths ahead. But a sneak at one at least. We've got one track limit warning to play with before we're big risk of a penalty. Final lap of the race though, completely drained on the battery. Going to try and save a little bit for the next straight, but they won't go side by side into the corner, unfortunately. You see, trying to just push the car into the corner, but nothing really happening there. We're not going to have enough. Well, we actually might have enough straight line speed. Can we get on the inside of Charles? Yes, we can. Send it down the inside. Just about getting the position. Leave the space on the exit. And we are going to be moving up into P4. So, considering big snaps for wheel spin actually, considering what could have been in that race, we could have been much lower. It's still not confirmed actually. He might get us back on the line. Need to get a good exit. I think he might get us back on the line. It's going to be close. It's going to be running up to the line. And he did.
All right, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
And he got us back on the line. That's going to be a few thousandths of a second at most. So turned out to be 7 thousandths of a second difference between me and Charles Leclerc for P4. But yeah, I mean, considering the issues, to be honest, P5 is not the end of the world, and I'll take it. And it's a good start to the championship. 9 more races to go, and we'll see where we can get to. But yeah, to be honest, a bit disappointed about the whole pedal issue, but I'm sure we'll fix it for next time, and it should be even better result going forward. But of course, the standings: Max Verstappen, Lando Norris, Sergio Perez, Charles Leclerc, myself, and then we're actually P4 as well in the Constructors' Championship. So it's going to be a bit of a one-legged race because our teammate is myself, actually. My teammate is Brendon Leigh, who finished 1 minute and 7 seconds behind the leader and was only beating the people who DNF. So unless he steps up his performance, could be a bit difficult. So there we are, concluding the race in P5, 7 thousandths of a second away from P4, of course, being Charles Leclerc. The technical gremlin on the pedals really hampered us from being able to take home the win, or at least fight for the win on the first race of the championship. But you know what? These things can happen, and I've fixed the problem now. So going forward in the championship, it shouldn't happen again. And if it does happen again, I know how to fix it. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and I will catch you in the next video. Grazie, ciao, ciao, bye bye.